What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of OK So Boom. I am joined by three of my favorite people, Monique,
Hey y'all.
Matt,
Hey, what's up?
and Ryan.
What up?
And of course, I am Chamire. So today we have a full episode talking about everything from Kurt Franklin to divorce. So we just gonna jump on in it. But anybody have anything going on this week?
Daylight savings
Oh.
time. Tired all week.
Mm,
he
I can't get
said he
with
tired
it.
always.
I cannot get with it. And
Yeah, that's
somehow
something.
I hurt my shoulder. Like I'm old. So it's like it was like 11 o'clock at night. My shoulder was killing me. I was like, come on now. I had to get up at like 11:30, put my
Mhm.
tiger balm on. I was like, this
Like
is
your
it.
Dang.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
I'd put my balm on. It's like the whole room filled with like spearmint smell. I was like, oh man, it's a good thing I'm sleeping by myself these days because it would have woke you right up, Ryan.
You got some strawberry candies in your purse?
No, I got the butterscotches.
Oh man,
Oh
that
man,
is your butterscotch.
I like butterscotch,
Me
right?
too. I don't have no
Uh,
problem with the butterscotch. Um,
I don't know why your Tiger Balm reminded me of, but so Monique doesn't agree with me, but I think Epsom salt is BS. I don't think it works at all. But I don't know why that
I
It
reminded me of
suits
that.
me fine.
you know
They,
what?
it suits
It's
me
like
fine, okay?
Not
how is
plain. I
how is
think
salty
plain
water
Epsom
going
salt.
into your joints?
It
Like
goes through your
it's not
skin.
That's the Epsom.
what?
Don't
It's
be
just salt
don't be
water.
messing with folkloric black
It's just
remedies,
no.
okay? Ginger ale work too.
Listen,
Ginger ale
if
work
Ginger
too.
ale
anything,
work on
Ginger ale,
everything.
ginger ale working. Ginger
no,
ale is the
And
best.
Sprite is in second place
ginger
for
ale,
working. If you ain't got no ginger ale,
ginger ale
that
do work.
that lemon do
That do
something
work.
to you.
Right, Sprite. That's chock full of sugar. You got a stomach
No.
ache. You get Sprite that's so full of sugar. Drink this sugar water, you be okay.
That ginger ale and that
Yeah,
Sprite and them saltines and that Epsom salt. You
But
but
I
do all
think
of
like
that, you
like
gonna
the
be
the other
good.
scented
ones work.
Epsom salts, like the ones that have like lavender or peppermint, those ones
Hmm.
work. I don't know about the plain ones.
Uh,
And I be
it's
buying
just
those. I
almost
buy the infused ones with like we got the melatonin soap with the oils and all that. That stuff
well,
smell
that's
good too.
different.
Stop hating.
That's different. The melatonin one do put you to sleep though.
Cause you
But
don't even like baths. This man is so like it ain't even no. You don't even like baths. You be like,
look,
suck it in your arms,
I don't
dirty
like baths
water.
neither.
Take
No,
a,
Matt.
you
No,
gotta
no,
take a
no. I'm
shower
with
boom.
you on
first.
that. If
If
I take a
I,
bath, I'm taking a shower afterwards. Like I don't want to soak
I
in my
I
own.
shower beforehand. I shower
yeah,
before the bath.
we shower first because if we don't pre-wash, if I don't pre-wash, I get judged. So do you shower by yourself? You gotta pre-wash because
You
he'll
gotta
come in there
pre-wash
on
it.
you and be like, did you wash
Hmm.
up before you got the bathtub?
I
Nasty.
remember like
I don't
coming.
need your day long booty grease floating past me
It's.
in the tub. I don't need. You got to wash that off.
I remember like coming in from like when I
Not
was a
this.
kid, coming in and getting to the bathtub because we didn't have no shower. We just had a bathtub. That's all we had.
Mhm.
And then like literally you could see like the dirt floating at the top. And I just like stood up. Like now I'm like, like how is a bath even a usable source of hygiene? It's not. It's not.
Exactly.
Mm.
If you
You
see
gotta,
that ring around the tub, you were sitting in that.
Oh,
you
come
gotta,
on.
That's
But
what you
you
were sitting
left
in.
it. But you left it behind. It could have came with you,
Some of it
but
came
it
out with you.
stayed.
Some of it came
When
out
it's a
with you.
bath, the dirt know what to do. The dirt stays.
gotta judge mad people. Mad people go see this and feel
Listen,
judged.
That's
if
okay.
you take a bath as your main source of cleanliness as an adult, you nasty. I'm saying
Yeah,
it on the
nah, don't
record.
do
Okay.
that.
Hot
Don't
take.
do that.
As your main
Hey,
source. I can see if you want a little soak. Oh, I hurt my shoulder or something, or you trying
right
to
Yeah,
for
give
the
me a
yeah.
bones.
little special time or something.
The hot
But
water helps you. You don't gotta
but
make it salty.
if you like, oh yes, I just came in from a day from work. Let me hop into this bathtub to cleanse out. No, you're too old for that. Stop. If you don't agree, drop down in the comments and tell me why you think baths is okay.
Why you should be able to take a bath after you have walked the 13-mile mail route? I'm not. I'm gonna shower that funk off. I
Right.
can't because you done had dirt, particles flying, debris,
That's
all
why
kinds of no.
Ryan quiet because he like baths.
I
You
like
know,
baths
I don't take no
too.
bath. I take, but I don't. It for me. It's the tubs are too small. Like I never had a tub man size before. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like nobody
Oh,
wants to
we
sit
got
there
a
with your
big.
knees bunched up.
You
It's
got
not
one put
comfortable.
into this crib though? You got one in this one?
No,
In
because
this?
we're just so not
Mm-mm.
bath people
Yeah.
that one of the main points for this house was that our bathroom doesn't even have a bathtub. It's just a big giant shower.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Monique
the
looked at me
basin.
crazy when we was looking at a
Because
house
I
that was
was
like
getting
that.
my tub, okay? And I still got to have my tub. Now I
Look at
told
what.
him we could take out the garden tub and put in a soaker. Like, they got those concave soakers now where you got so much space without the tub having to take up a whole portion of the bathroom.
It's
We
deeper
can
instead
do
of water.
that. And you could extend your shower like that, but we gonna have us a tub.
Well, look, one of the houses I was looking at before we bought this one had a big two-person shower, so it had two shower heads, one on each side,
Oh,
and I
that's
was like,
Hey,
"Man,
nice.
Ooh, there you go.
this is
There it
nice."
is.
And Monique was like, "No, there's no
you could
tub."
get that done. You could get that done, but
He's like,
I
I
need
need
me
my
a tub.
tub. I need my
Yeah,
tub.
that's what I
And
want. I want
that's a
the
comment
human car
worthy one
wash.
too.
Yeah,
That
Ladies, do you have to have a tub? People, do you have to have a tub? Is a no tub a deal breaker? It sure was for me. I was
well,
like, I got enough no
that's the
tub.
kind of the compromise of a married couple when y'all
Right.
or whomever, but specifically married couple when you making these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but let's talk about Ray J and Princess Love. So Ray J, we know Ray J from the whole Kim Kardashian thing. Ray J is also the little brother of the better singer of
Oh, here
Brandy
we
and
go.
Monica.
oh
Here
no,
we
you
go.
didn't.
Yes, I did. So he's the little brother of Brandy. Shout out to Brandy
Team
for winning that
Team
versus.
Monica.
Shout out
Team
to Brandy
Monica
for
all
winning
day.
that
Monica,
versus.
Monica.
um, so they filed for divorce initially, and then they got
Mm-hmm.
back together, and then they filed for divorce a second time,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're calling off the divorce again. And so there was allegedly accusations of infidelity within the relationship. I guess him not being there and not helping her with the kids or whatever. Um, but how do y'all feel as another married couple? And this can even apply to couples who have been in long term relationships. How do you feel about divorce? Like, do you think divorce is an option outside of issues of like abuse and things like that?
Yeah.
Because you guys have been married for 17 years, and so have we. So we in there. It is divorce an option, not for you, but do you think in general should that be like, okay, well, I married you, but if it don't work out, we'll just take this avenue. So let's start with Matt. We never start with Matt.
Uh,
Yeah.
no. Uh, the only reason I feel divorce is an option would be for infidelity or adultery. Like you can't be out there slinging your Johnnies to whomever, and then
Your Johnnies.
What is
you-
the slinging of
He
the
said
Johnny?
I thought he said gynae, short for vagina. What you say?
Yeah, he did.
your Johnnies,
I don't
your
know.
Yeah,
genitals.
your
That could
Johnny.
be anything. I don't.
So no,
Slinging your
no,
Johnnies.
but other than that, if it's small stuff like I don't know, I think you should get to know your partner before you get married, right? I think you should stay together long enough to where the representative stops showing up, and then you can begin to see somebody's flaws and determine whether or not their flaws are acceptable for you, whether or not you can live with them long term.
Can I jump in on yours? So
It's deep.
with well, all of us, we were maybe late teens when
Yeah.
we got
Mhm.
married. So also, if you add in you guys' career on top of that, which involves a lot of travel, um, long
Mm-hmm.
hours, and the fact that you were not grown when you were married, a lot of couples that we started off with have not made it. So, do you think
Right.
there is an out there, Monique?
There's a yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I mean I'm just I do. I mean, I don't want to. I don't agree with like trivializing divorce and like letting it go. Well, it just like it's a big deal. I just think that the more that you tie into the reason why y'all are together is it's gonna push back divorce as an option unless y'all just not really serious about each other. I mean, is it love or ain't it? I mean, and sometimes people fall out of love with each other for whatever reason, but even that, if you haven't made the effort, I don't see no point in, doing a divorce. But I definitely think it should be on the table because why be miserable? That's my thing. I've never agreed with staying with somebody and being miserable because this is time you can't get back. I'm one of them people, if a 30-second YouTube video make me miserable, I want my 30 seconds back. You cannot just be
Reclaiming my
wasting your
time.
yeah, okay, reclaiming my you can't get nothing back. So don't waste all that time with somebody. I mean, I think even with us getting married young like that and actually living together on our own young, I know for us it was an adjustment period like a mug. I was like, I know he liked to play games like that. I know I had things.
It was some adjustment years.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would say that Alaskan tour, that could
Girl.
have been a farewell tour. Oh my god, that could have been a farewell tour. Okay, it wouldn't have been but honestly, that's where love can power you through some stuff, and you can determine like, what am I? If I leave this life now, what am I going back to? What am I leaving for him? If you care about a person enough to wonder what you're leaving them with, versus just I'm out of here. I don't care about how you know what I mean? But what does this life mean to him? That was a big deal for me and all of my flightiness because I was taking my butt back to Chicago. Like, go home.
She did used to do that a lot. When we first got married, she would constantly fly back to Chicago.
I can't
She was
do
like,
it.
Buffalo
But
I'm
all the
tired of
time
you.
too. It was hard. It was rough. Like I don't like
yeah.
we were our first assignment was uh
Idaho.
Idaho.
Oh
And
God.
then he deployed like what 6 months into us being there. I was like,
Mhm.
yo, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like this is and then I was pregnant when you left. So I'm like left in Idaho with no friends. Well, we did have friends, let me stop lying. But still, I mean I'm by myself. I don't have my husband. I'm pregnant
Yeah.
and I'm like, which was not planned. I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And like you said, so that he was gone for
Mhm.
like probably like almost half of that assignment, and then
Yeah.
which led us to
Dang.
Alaska where we met you. So like
Mhm.
that's about 3 year span. I was like, ooh, we was fighting through it. We was like, we got to. Brian, what you've been quiet? What you think?
Uh, so I was trying to do the math in my head. So it was 2 years, but I was always on in field exercises, like I was in the army or
Mhm.
something. And then it was 2 years, but we were in that shack of a house that had one window and one door. So if you got mad,
Dang.
it only had two rooms. It had the kitchen, living room, whatever room, and the bedroom. That was it. So if you got mad, you
See
couldn't.
there?
There was nowhere to go for 2 years. And then I deployed for 6 months. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I think that the institute of marriage is something you have to go into seriously, and you have to
Yeah.
not be miserable, but there's concessions with love, right? So if you
Mhm.
love somebody enough, then you can make concessions that don't break either one of you, but you can meet somewhere in between. But
Right.
we're remarkable.
Dr.
That we,
Williams over there. Go ahead.
well, I didn't say representative. That was deep. Like you said, your representative.
Conception.
Yeah.
It was like, all right. But
You can't cheer yourself on.
no, I was saying Matt. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Matt said representative. I was like, all right. But I think we're remarkable in that we did it so young and we're still in a committed
Yeah.
relationship. Because I think in that case, you might have been biting off more than you can chew, and I could kind of give you a pass on it,
Yeah.
like because if you don't have an example and then you jump in your
Yeah.
teenage years, it's like, do you really want to destroy this
Still
person for
teenagers. That's yeah.
Yeah.
so I can see in those
Mhm.
cases, but if you have experienced it, you've vetted that person properly, then I think you need to fight for it. So
Yeah.
in their case, in the Ray J case, I see it as a victory. Like they came to the brink twice and they came back. Like they didn't actually get a divorce, but
Yeah.
like
But
That's
Matt,
some grown people stuff right there. It
what
really is.
kind is it grown people or is it dumb? Because like what Matt said, okay, his hard line,
Mhm,
and I would have to think about it. He said his hard line is infidelity, adultery.
mhm. Yeah,
I I I don't know if that would be a hard line for me. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. That's not no pass.
see his face,
Oh,
Matt's
oh,
face.
dang. He over here.
Making notes. No. But I don't know if that's enough that would make me throw away almost 18 years. But then again,
I'm
it may.
fighting.
It
I
may.
choose violence.
I choose
Mm,
violence.
Again, but after the
okay.
violence, after you sock him out, are you gonna stay?
I mean, I've seen both things happen. I'm going off of if there are any survivors, when they come out of their comatose conditions, we'll probably try to work on this thing here. And that's just straight up because I already know at this juncture, I mean, because to me, and when I say some grown people stuff, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if we was kids, but we got too much skin in the game now. So I take that personal.
Okay,
I don't
Mike.
want it because when communication is open like it is between us, when we do and say so many things on a regular basis, and you can't tell me that you feel like you trying to try something new, or you trying to step out, or you're unhappy to that degree. Because honestly too, I don't necessarily think I'm 100% responsible for making him happy. I care about his happiness, but you
Amen.
have to do
Amen.
what makes you happy too.
Right.
So like, if that's whatever your hobbies and whatever that is, if you done stepped outside of your realm of how you can please yourself, and you thought you had to go find somebody else, you done put somebody's life in danger. You need to apologize to them.
Oh
And
wow.
also, you know, we too old for that. Like, and that's, I mean, and I'm saying, like, when I see people 30, 40, 50 years old out here cheating and running around, yes, you get a divorce. You go be single. Because we doing grown people stuff over here. We trying to find somebody to retire with and go and tour the European countryside and all that. We not out here doing that. We not,
Yeah.
I
I
can't
think
have that.
that's
You
what
trying to have my blood pressure high?
what will make me teeter on the side of I don't know if it's gonna work because there's so many steps
Mm-hmm.
before you have to go cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's not
To cheat
spontaneous.
on somebody, that's a
Mhm.
conscious choice and
Yeah.
decision that you are about to go out of the covenant of your marriage, and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to break that covenant with somebody, whether they know about me or not.
Yeah.
You made that choice. I made that covenant with you, so I'll be more
Mm-hmm.
upset with my spouse than the other
Yeah.
person. But
Right.
Oh, both of them catch it. I don't even care. I just know I'm a blackout.
so
I
I don't
see.
know if that's a hard line. But do you, before we move on, do you have a hard line, Ryan? Do you have something where you'd be like, mm mm mm?
So I would like to say, infidelity and all that good stuff, but I've never had concern of that kind. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, it
Don't
wouldn't
put me
happen. You
out,
know what I mean? Like,
especially I be in these streets and all that shit going.
okay. So
I
I
can't. I
would,
can't.
yeah. So I would say that's definitely something where we would have to seek help and all that
No,
good
but see,
stuff.
because
But
you
I
judgy.
wouldn't be
You
in the.
judgy.
That's why I am, and
And
I
I
hold
would
a
never hear the
grudge
end of it.
for life.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's people I still hold a grudge from grade school. I'm gonna run into them one day.
That's why.
So
That's
that'd be
why that
hard.
would be a hard line for you because if you're gonna forgive somebody, you gotta let it go. Like you cannot
Yeah.
Right.
hold that over their heads for forever. Because
Right.
what's the point of making everybody suffer? You don't forgive me. All right, you
Mm-hmm.
need to.
Yeah. And knowing myself, like it wouldn't be something where I would be just being petty or being stubborn. It's the way I'm wired. I'm
Yeah.
wired to be petty.
Okay,
That's why
Monique,
we're
do you
friends,
I
have
right
a
there.
mean,
hard line? Which do you have a hard? Mm-mm.
oh yeah, mine big time is addiction. I think that
Mm.
when people don't do the work to exercise them type of demons, and you get ready to drag the whole family down, your ass is out. You're finished. You're done. I mean, that to me, some couples, you can work through affairs, you can work through some stuff, but continuous. You done took my, back in the day, the VCRs was coming up missing
Oh,
off.
girl.
I ain't got time for all that type of stuff, and nowadays, like, the gambling, all that kind of stuff that just continuously takes away from the family, taking food out of kids' mouths and stuff like that, with the buying of whatever your habit may be. I can't be bothered with that. I can't be bothered with that.
That's an interesting perspective, and I do
And
agree with that.
I'm there for rehab and trying to get help and all that. I'm not saying like as soon as I find out, like, you got a secret crack habit, get out. Okay, let's get
I don't
some
know how
help.
you keep crack a secret.
Oh, it's
And
only
I'm
been a
talking
secret for so long.
They start going
about
Galen.
where I am now mentally now, being the age that I am. I think that, and then actually loving your partner. These are easy outs if you don't even love who you married to no more. You be like, what? Get out, everything, get out. You know what I'm saying? You left lint in the dry lint trap, get out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you still in love with your partner, you still care, you still, have all these dreams and goals for yourselves. If I found out you was a crackhead, I would give you a chance. But if you stayed cracking, you gotta get out. You gotta go.
Quickly, let's take like maybe 30 seconds a person, but what do you think that we all did to last this long, being teen and early 20 these marriages, being in our teens and early 20s? What do you think we did differently than other couples to last this long? Ryan, you go.
Oh man, I think it's 3 or 4 couples that are still left. So I think it's just a matter of being lucky to have found someone that you want to fight for, and then B, finding people who are driven to do that work. Because like we are literally out of the 25 couples, let's say, or it's probably more. It's only like a handful of us still left after 18 years, 17, 18 years. So I think it's the people, like it's the chemistry between the people that worked out for us.
What you think, Matt?
I would say being able to make it through the low points, right? I believe that all relationships go through highs and lows. And if you're willing to fight through together and both of you still want your relationship in the low points, then you will make it back to your high points. And then again, like I said before, is the acceptable flaws, right? Like if you know every time Ryan takes a shower, he's going to leave his drawers behind the door on the floor, right? Can you accept that when you're 80 years old for the next 50 years,
Mhm.
and realize that no one's perfect. No one's ever going to fit your perfect mold or your idea of what your significant other should be. And then just, work through stuff.
Got you. Monique?
Match each other's crazy. Both men are absolutely correct though. I can't mess with what they said, because that's some good quality stuff right there, fellas, but also match each other crazy. I'm gonna give you an example right quick. Just right now, me and Matt was getting ready, was having a little jam session and everything. And I told Matt, I said, Throw Baby would sound better if it was an opera. And immediately Matt tried to Throw Baby in the Pavarotti voice. That's how you know.
Yes.
That's how you know.
Yes.
Everybody not gonna do that. Everybody not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And that for me, that's how I feel. Like we have laughed so much. And I'm one of them people, I don't like, if I'm upset, I don't like to be touched. I don't be trying to be funny. But he gets away with all of that. That's a winner.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I
winner,
feel like it's the 80-20 rule. We learned about that in church probably a couple of years ago at this point, that just to caveat what everybody, nobody is perfect. So would you throw away somebody you have a 80% beautiful relationship for 20%? Like, no, like you just have to fight through that. I would accept your draws behind the door, but I feel like if I do have an issue, then I expect you to work on that issue just like I would. So this is a mixture of loving and fighting and knowing that this is your person, right? I know for a fact Ryan is my person. He belongs to me. And whether we have
Aww.
whether we have a rough period or not. I mean, I'm never gonna. I know it's for me, and I know that there's going
Right.
to be a better day. So we'll fight
Yep.
for that. So
And
now
I like it. Yes.
let's talk about that Stimmy. Oh, that Stimmy. I'm old school. That Stimmy. That Stimmy. I ain't get mine till Wednesday, but you know what? I got it. Thank you, Joe.
Okay.
Joe
Moneybag
needs to be a
Joe
little
for the
careful going up
win.
them stairs because those $300 checks haven't rolled out yet. I need that to start before he, hurt himself.
For real.
That's the
And
worst
that's
when you going up. That's the worst because you
the
just
man.
can't control it.
He fell up the steps.
Yeah, I've been
Please.
there.
Look, I'm getting misty just thinking about it because I cried. You hear me? I laughed till I cried. I watched it 17 times. I said I'm about to make a Instagram for them stairs. Oh,
It's everywhere too, but it's the equivalent of like when 45s come down the stairs and had toilet paper stuck to his shoe.
Yeah. A
People are
large
like,
piece too. I was like,
but I mean,
Or
that's a
that
sign
ramp.
that people don't like you though. They let him have that toilet paper. Didn't nobody let Joe fall except his niece.
that's true.
His niece did
I
him
know
like that.
he passed like 15 people before he got off that jet. And nobody was like, hey sir,
Take your
you should,
time.
Yeah, get the toilet paper. Yeah, but I respect that when he got to the top, he still popped the salute though.
right?
He's
It
like,
was
you know
it was
what?
it was super crispy though,
I'm
because he
still
had
gonna do
to
my
make
It
it up.
job.
was.
I'm still gonna do my job.
You know, he got on that thing, was like,
And then he rubbed his shin. You think he rubbed it because it hurt, or he was trying to get the
Yeah.
third?
No, man.
yeah, he felt that.
That
Joe
joint
skinny.
stung.
He ain't got no meat on his bones, and the bones old. All kind of gravy probably was
Man, some
pouring out
tiger
up
bomb.
under that boy's kneecap.
But no, but
I
so
bet he
Joe
used
did
Pepsi
bring that
sauce.
stimmy, y'all.
Yes, we ain't gonna laugh too hard. He did.
Do you got like plans for your stimmy? Like
Oh yeah, we buying a baby goat and we putting a different Jordan on each paw. On each foot.
I want a llama.
A llama.
no, guys, llamas is mean
Alpaca.
though. Llamas are mean.
I'm
Um,
gonna put a Bulls hoodie on a llama.
you're gonna be like, I think we're for the most part we're just, and I'm blessed to be able to say this, that we're gonna save most of it, or we're gonna save
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
somebody is stationed. Somebody follow on is still not Tampa, Florida, so we're gonna have
Yeah,
to be paying rent for somebody. Um,
I'm stimulating somebody's economy. So
right.
Get out of here.
So that's a blessing that we won't have to take a financial hit when
Yeah,
after this tour, when he gets the
exactly.
apartment, whatever. We can literally just take that. I would like to buy as many crab legs as I could eat with this stimmy,
For
but
real, gang. I was looking for. I thought Chamire was gonna be like
I
bring a leg on
on the
the
screen.
show.
I was going to, have it all buttered up and how the seasonings, but then I started doing the math. I was like, wait, he gonna be in wait, where you, well, I don't know if you want to say where you're gonna be, but you're gonna be in a different
across the state, same state, other coast.
and it's very expensive there. So I'm carrying the two. I'm like, times
Oh,
17 months. That's gonna
dang.
be X amount. But because he want to live in like, yeah, y'all from Anchorage. He want to live in like the Anchor Arms, and I'm like, no, you gotta. I want you have to have at least
I'm gonna
a
find the
room or a
equivalent.
small apartment
You
you're gonna be safe at.
you
Mhm.
you buy a taser and a knife
A
and
taser,
and a bat.
gun compartment.
You build the security. You get a stick so you can wedge it between the door and the wall. I'm good.
Get you a Great Dane and a 9mm.
There you go.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna invest in security.
get you an AR.
Dang.
I can't
You
afford it.
gotta be able to look.
Even with the full stimmy.
Make sure it's something you can handle when somebody get in. I try to think about it in the middle of the night. I'm not gonna be bumbling with no AR in the middle of the night.
Look, it's ready.
I
Look,
need something I could just snatch up and be like, hey.
Just rack it. You wake up, you just rack it, just get into it. No, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hoping to find a roommate or something like that, so I don't have to spend full rent type money. But we'll see.
You guys doing any home improvements or
That,
anything?
that roommate better be a guy.
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean,
For sure.
Seriously though, we're saving most of our stimulus. Also, we use it
yeah,
to buy some credit cards and
Minus
whatnot.
the oxtails.
And yeah, oxtails.
I wanna be doing some gardening, so I am gonna invest a little bit in my in my gardening.
Okay,
But other than that,
hook it up. So
not
when I
really.
come down, I want farm to table. Don't go to no supermarkets. You know that goat, that little goat
Gang,
pick them up
gang,
for me.
gang. That's what I'm doing. Gang. I got them had a collard greens, some broccoli, all that. Look here though.
I'll be your
We
sous
and
chef.
Look, I
I
say
will be
we're
doing some
being responsible
painting.
with about 60% of it. The other 40%, who knows?
Who? What? What you say?
I said
What you say?
we putting away like 60% of it, and then the other 40%.
Oh yeah.
I heard he's
True.
upgrading. He's upgrading the theater.
No, no, no.
Not yet. Not
And
yet.
he's building a studio. That's what I heard.
I did say I want that 77-inch OLED though, and Monique looked at me like I was stupid.
What's the price on that?
It's almost 4,000.
That's
Too much.
reasonable. Back when we were looking at TVs
4,000.
back in the day, you spent 10 grand on a 50-inch plasma. He's being conservative, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
God bless you, sir.
OLED.
Oh my
I don't know who
goodness.
come up with these
Plus,
numbers.
plus,
Mm.
plus, they say within the next 90 days. I read a couple articles that we're supposed to be getting $300 per child, or like is it 350 under
So
six?
I have a
Something like
question.
that.
Yes, so it's be 350 for kids 6 and under, and then 300. But I read another article that said half. You get half now. You get half when you file your taxes.
I mean, I really don't care.
So either way, you're getting
Mhm.
it. You're just getting it in two disbursements.
I,
But
What
whatever.
did
I don't know
already
if that
follow?
article is correct or not.
It's next year's taxes.
Oh, next year's
Yeah.
taxes. Okay.
Yeah, when you file your 2021 taxes, you'll get
Either
the
way,
other half.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Moneybag Joe.
Mhm.
My
Yep,
bag.
yep, gang.
I
That's the
appreciate
man
it.
right there.
I appreciate Joe. Um, so now, so speaking about the money, that we are going to be mostly responsible with. We did get a
Mhm.
retractable awning for our um what you
London.
call
Back
it,
there?
our
Oh yeah,
patio.
need that. Mm-hmm.
Because these summer we didn't. First of all, we wasn't being cheap, but hindsight is 2020. When it was like, do you want a roof or do you want the mesh all around? Ryan's like, I want to see the stars. So I was like, all right,
Yeah, I
cool.
was being dumb. And then that following summer, it rained
We
almost
was
every
like,
damn
and
day.
then when it didn't rain, like the sun in Florida eats your skin. So we was like,
Yeah.
so we invested in that. So that
Mm, you
that will
need
be
that.
our splurge. But so that's what we did.
Mhm.
But with the stimulus hit, where did it go? Ours went to our. We have a joint checking account,
Yeah.
and I understand like some people don't have joint checkings account. I understand you guys have a joint, and then you guys have separates, right?
Used
No.
to, but now it's just separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me how, if you don't mind, tell me like what made you go that way?
Who breaking it down? I'm breaking it
Well,
down. You breaking it
yeah,
down,
go
man.
for it. Go for it. I
I'm gonna
went
break it
first
down.
last time.
Well, this is what I was taking a job with the post office at the same time that we had basically like we parted ways with USAA and we wanted to go to Navy Federal. So when Matt first made the decision to do that, Navy Federal, like, everything was easy doing online and everything. And he was like, I want to add my wife. They was like, oh, you got to bring her up here. And I'm like, I'm busy, working for the post office, especially when you first start. I'm like, I ain't got time to go to the bank. So I
I
started
got
my
them full
own.
time hours.
Right, right. I started my own. I was like, I don't get time off. I don't, right now it's just about work, work, work. So that's how the separates got started. I just never went up there with my ID to be added to the account. And then we kept it after all this time because it's like I'm added on his account, he's on mine, so we do instant transfer if either one of us has something that we need that we don't have the money for, especially like if I'm not working, I ain't got no money, like no outside, no extra, nothing coming in. Then I have his debit card is on my Google Pay. Like when I
I
go
sounds
out, like,
yeah.
Right, don't get it
So
twisted. He still spends the
is
money
there really a
on my
separate
account.
account in 2021? I don't know if there's really a separate. If you want to keep your money separate, I think that's a bigger question. Like, why don't you
Right.
want yourself to have access to your money, because we're all access, you know. Sometimes, I mean, and then it's fun to me. I'd be like, hey, cash at me. He'd be like, why? Why don't you just use it? Because it's fun. I want to feel young. Cash at me, you know?
It's okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there has to be points because like we have one, right? And
Yeah.
so if I buy him something or he buy me something, I'd
Mhm.
be like, don't check the account. Just
Yeah,
Right.
see, stuff like
don't
that.
stay out the
Yeah.
account, you know, or we'll like
Exactly what
have
I was about to say. Yep.
yeah, we'll have to put something like on a credit card, and then if we really want to be a secret, then we pay it off. Then we got to pay the credit card off.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it is um kind of a more work, but
Hmm.
I just we just never had separate. So like I think like if I ever went back to work, which I do
Yeah.
put my dabble in the thought, um I think I would get a separate one just because
Yeah.
that money could just go there,
Hmm.
but not because I don't want him in my business, because obviously he would be on
Right.
that account and have access to it.
Yeah.
But it's really no point in putting. I guess it don't matter. I think because we have such open trust that it really doesn't matter. What was you gonna say,
Hey.
Ryan?
I was gonna say, so after all this time, I kind of want separate accounts, but
Mm,
I still,
mm.
but not for that reason, right? So I still traditional, right? So I believe that all the bills and all that stuff should come out of my account, and then whatever you want or need or whatever have you should come out of my account. But since every time I move you somewhere, due to my job, you have to start over. So
Yeah.
I think you should just have play money, like when you do go back now that we're starting to settle again, and whenever that time happens, and then that's just you, that's yours. Like you still
Yeah.
can hit up the main, whatever. Like I always plan to always have more than we need. We always live underneath our means, but I think you should
Yeah.
just have money just to have money. Because
Mhm.
again, like I feel as though the constantly moving doesn't set you up for success, right? And so
Right.
when you have
And
the
that's
ability to
true.
indulge,
Yeah. That's
then you
true.
just
That's the
and then
one thing that's consistent, Ryan. Good point, man. The bank account stays the same. The money stays home. Because I'd
It's
have
true.
had
yeah.
so many jobs.
Me too,
So
girl.
many
Me
jobs.
too. That is the plight of a military spouse. You're trying to get your good job, and they'd be
Hmm.
like, "Well, I was a barista. I worked at Walmart. I used to shovel driveways." So the employer would be like, "Well, what is your problem?" You'd be like,
All the jobs.
"I had all the jobs. Hire me. I'll catch on quick. Trust me." But yeah, but
Mhm.
that I would never do that though. I would just say, but there may be a time where I go back. Right now, Mason just got back in school.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of just enjoying life right now. Because the older
Yeah,
kids,
I
they
mean, we
homeschool.
Operation Homefront, for
Yeah,
real.
you
Like
be homeschooling for real. I'd be like, no. I don't know what Finch ate, what Robin.
my window lessons, and it is that I feel like that's a luxury in and of itself. Like, to be able to stay at home, and we're not in a po house. Like clearly,
Hmm.
we didn't have to govern over
Hats
these
off to
kids'
our
finances.
gentlemen's. Hats
Right,
off to the
right,
gentlemen's
y'all.
for holding down the front. You
For
know,
real, go ahead on with your
I
bad
always
self.
I'm gonna brag. I'm gonna brag on them because they're really good men. I know Monique don't mind me saying that about Matt. They good men. They take
Yeah,
care of their families, and
yeah,
hats off to being consistent
yep.
for forever. But
hashtag
Hmm.
saying 7 ends for Matt reward his
what'd you say?
Dang,
Yeah.
70 cent OLED for Matt.
I thought
that's
you said
only
something
it.
different. I was like, what? Okay, let's move on. Um,
He definitely said 70 inch from that.
I was like, okay, let's move on. All right. We're gonna move on to our silly segment of the day. Like this whole thing isn't silly. Is would you rather? And I didn't tell y'all this before, so because I like the surprise element to put you on the spot. But
Uh-oh.
would
Here
you
we go. I'm
rather?
gonna be the odd one out again. All right, let's go.
I always eye one up.
Oh
Would you
God.
rather have unlimited international first class tickets or never have to pay for food at a restaurant again? Who want to go first?
Dang.
That's too easy. I'm going with the international first class.
Oh man, here we go. I already disagree.
It's
Okay,
because it
why?
Because if I can eat for free for the rest of my life, I could save that money to buy to go overseas. I'm going with
How much food are you eating?
We don't eat out that much.
at least
Call-
2 times a
He
day.
said I would if it was free.
It costs like
Exactly.
a first class to like Paris costs like 5 7. I don't even
Food
know.
here
I
don't
don't
got
even.
no
I've only been
groceries,
coach.
so
Imagine,
I've only
right?
been
So
coached
imagine
overseas.
you never have to pay for food again if you just eat out all the time. What you gonna do with all that money?
true.
I don't see the equivalence there. Like how much you eat in a month if you go to a restaurant? If
We'll,
you
we'll
only
say
eat at restaurants all month,
we'll say two meals a day, right? All
2 meals a
restaurants.
day, all restaurant. That's like maybe $1,000 a
What's that
month.
on per diem? What's that on
Maybe.
doing the
What are you
military
talking
number?
about? It's free. I'm getting ribeyes. I'm getting.
Make
Well, yeah.
mine,
If you
make mine
like
extra juicy.
I'm getting,
if
yeah.
you do the equivalent of what you buying in groceries times 2.5 maybe, unless you buying ribeyes and
Look,
lobsters for
it's
lunch.
free. Lobster. I'm having
Mm,
lobster roll.
But now you eating
Okay.
more than you normally would eat. Like you eating fancier food. I get that, but
right.
I want that ticket. I go eat fancy somewhere. I'll pay for that.
I was gonna say the ticket too, man. I don't know why you be doing that. What's wrong with you? What's
Because
Never
wrong with
mind.
you?
Never mind.
when I get
Put a line for that
when
TV. Put
She
a
when
be
line
I
for that
get
ashamed.
TV.
the
You
She
don't,
be
Paris or
ashamed at
whatever,
this portion of the show. She be like,
look,
Every
when I get the
time.
Paris
man,
or
them
whatever,
tickets
the
is
food is free
expensive.
there too.
Have you
Come
ever
on.
sat in a pod first class? Me
Yes.
neither. Well, I haven't.
Oh,
I was hoping you say
I've,
no.
I've walked through it. I've
right, you
walked
I've
through
are.
it.
walked. Yeah, I've walked past them.
I was gonna say, where you sit in the pod? What you do, sail in that mother?
Hey, I got a free upgrade to first class one time.
I
Never.
remember that.
I got a free economy plus once. As much as I was globetrotting before I got here, they gave me one upgrade one time.
Okay, so Ryan, you tickets.
Yes, give me them
Matt
tickets.
is food. Monique, what's
I'm
yours?
tickets, so I guess if we together, then we eating and we flying. So okay.
No, we got to
No,
pick
you
one.
can't share.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh well, see, Matt, damn it, that's what I'm talking about. Just
This
come
is
out.
hard
That's
though.
what I'm talking about.
look,
I-
Man, you just hop on a plane, go to Greece first class.
and
But then
eat
when-
free when I'm there.
Right.
Okay?
I don't know.
I'll fly economy.
I might be dabbling with Matt because think about it though.
What? Oh.
Think about it. I can. Okay. I'm just gonna put our business out there real quick. When we went to Paris, when I flew to Paris, I think our ticket was like 1,300, and I was
Woo.
in economy.
You was in coach.
I was in coach. Okay, I had no leg room, but that's
You was
okay.
by the bathroom.
But the point, no, I made sure I was as close to first class as possible, so I could just look at their lavishness and then hope it got back to me. So that was like 1,100, 1,200, something like that. But just think about eating at the finest restaurants when you got there. Like eventually, I feel like eating is going to outweigh traveling because you cannot travel every single day, but I can
Yeah.
eat every single day, and I
Two
can
Right.
meals a day at least. Yep.
and I can eat lavishly every single day. Just think about my meal preps that I don't buy because they're too expensive. I'll be like,
Yeah.
meal prep me something for tomorrow too, since you're back there in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't
Oh,
agree,
no,
Monique.
you don't
You
get
don't
to
agree with us.
I do not agree. I do not
Right?
agree.
You cannot just. Could you just
Okay.
right now?
I'm vetoing. I'm the man
Listen,
now said we
listen.
flying. We flying.
Could you fly
But then
anywhere
you gotta
right
pay for
now?
hotels when you get there.
Have
You gave me
man,
the
listen.
wide eyes too.
Listen, I've had to go to Morocco. Door to door is 25 hours in coach.
Mhm.
If I wanted to die the fourth time, they they offered me a fifth. I was like, no, I'm not going.
Well, nobody told
food-
you to
and the
go
food
to the
was
same
good.
place
And the
every
food was
single
good.
time.
I'm just saying, like, if you are in first class, I could have stretched my legs out. You get the pod. You got the screen that's way too big to be in your pod, but it's still there. Like just the comfort of
Okay, pod.
travel
He said, "I'm
on
giving
my
me a
pod.
pop."
We
No.
just hop on a first class to Japan and then just eat there.
Look,
And
I'm with-
even the most
But
basic of
just
restaurants is
answer me
better.
right now. You right now. You got your international tickets. Can you
Yes.
go right now? Yes or no?
Not the second, no. You can though.
Okay.
You can take the
I
kids.
can't.
Can you
shoot.
eat this second?
Oh, well, you got the Stimmy. You got the Stimmy. But my point is, when you get there, you have to pay for hotel, food, and probably rental car or some means of transportation, right? But I could sit in my
Yes.
house and eat for free.
He gonna be Ubering. He gonna Postmates. All that.
This ain't
All of
even
it.
working that hard on Matt because he's such an introvert. He loved it. He loved it. I mean, but I ain't
I
gonna lie.
love being in the house too.
I
I
like it
do love
too.
being in the
Like
house.
quarantine and all that. All these people that be complaining, I'd be like, boy, please. This
But
is
I get to go to Tokyo and eat the finest of sushi, which is
At
still
a
probably
cost.
cheaper.
At a
It's
cost.
still cheaper than going to anywhere else in the States and better.
I saw a
Or
burger that was
even
$300 in Japan.
that's because they went out
We
their
ain't eat
way.
no,
Even the McDonald's is
Wagyu.
And you
better
know what? I'm
overseas.
getting
Even the
that
McDonald's is
$300
better.
burger. I'm getting that $300 burger for free.
For free.
For free.
Me and Matt gonna be slicing
Crazy.
our steaks while they eating chicken fingers and French fries. Oh no no no
I'm gonna
no!
have to
We're not.
sell one of
Yep,
them
yep.
plane tickets. Can you sell? Can you scalp the plane ticket?
Me and Matt gonna be in coach. We gonna be all right because we gonna get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all gonna be grouchy, but y'all gonna be there.
Yeah, we gonna
I'm
be
gonna be with
grouchy.
I'm gonna be with 2 Chainz, our most expensivest foods for free.
Me and Ryan
Or
gonna be
whatever
high
his service
fiving across
cost.
the aisle from the pond.
Yeah.
Hey!
You
I
gotta
don't
look
even think
over
we could
because
reach each
there's a
other
wall,
from the
right? You gotta
pond.
look over the pod. Like, hey, what's up?
Like, hey!
All right, so for the first time we're tied. We got 2 travels, 2 foods. All right,
Okay,
real
man.
quick.
Okay.
Kevin Hart and his ex-wife Torrei Hart, they
Mhm.
just bought their daughter a Mercedes SUV for their 16th birthday. We have a 15-year-old. You guys have a 15-year-old, right? Or she's
She
14.
about to
She'll
be
be
15.
15 in a minute.
Um,
Mhm.
if you had the bank account Kevin Hart had, do you feel like this is a okay purchase, or do you think it's just too much? Period. Ryan, what you think?
I used to feel some kind of way. Like we had that conversation about Kev on stage taking his kids first class to Japan. And then I thought about it and I'm like, but they already are not normal kids. Like,
Yeah.
so we grew up and, we had to have the beater or whatever. Why put that on them? Because they already don't have no sense, most unlikely. So
Mhm.
it is what it is. Like, yeah, get her SUV. Like,
A
let Smiles
Mercedes
drive her.
SUV, like a
Might as,
$80,000 first car.
she don't even remember being in a hoopty anymore. She don't even
Yeah.
remember. She has no
True.
clue.
All
Somebody
right.
drives her dad around.
True.
Yeah.
Monique, what you think?
Yeah, if I was living at that baller status level like that, I'd probably be doing the same kind of stuff. I mean, regular me is like, hell no. But if I had that kind of money, then yeah, I probably it might be a pass down, like something that I had in the fleet already. I mean, at least, because dang, why you
Look,
need
she
a
got
brand
a
new? You got
brand
to
new
tear
Take
that up,
first.
take that one. It's
That's what I
dirty.
don't. Like right now, because like I can never just agree with just being 100% frivolous, even if you got it, because people have lost fortunes just doing little dumb stuff. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, yeah, you can afford it, do it. That's your money. But if it was me, you could have something nice, but not that
So
nice.
you
Like,
Kevin Hart rich. You
The,
got at least $20 million.
mhm.
I'm guessing. I don't know his number.
that's off
Yeah,
one special.
I think he's worth a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a couple $100 million. You gonna give your daughter a hand me down?
The finest of Camrys.
I
No,
mean,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna.
the finest of hand-me-downs. It's a G-Wagon, but it was my G-Wagon before I got me another one. Now you can have that one. Humble yourself. I think, that's why a lot of these kids, even our kids are comfortable, way more
Too
comfortable than we were.
comfortable.
I don't even remember ever telling my kids, you got McDonald's money. I ain't never said that to my kids. Maybe to be
Right.
funny,
Now I just
but
said
in
I'm
real
not
life,
driving to McDonald's, but it ain't never been because I ain't
exactly,
got McDonald's
exactly.
money.
If that's
Yeah,
what it
but
come
our
down
kids be
to.
on that level. Be like, well, can I Uber Eats it then? You be like,
Oh, I've had that conversation.
what?
Like at
See?
least I said, RJ,
See
what
what
I have a coupon code. Why you even signed up for Uber Eats, dude? Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So our kids, we do things that people that were at a level underneath us financially or whatever it may be wouldn't do. JoJo was boy, he'll get the. He asked me to take him to Dairy Queen the other day at 2:00 in the afternoon for his dessert after his at-home lunch. Dairy
um,
Queen,
did you go?
Dairy Queen.
Did you do
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so then
Yep.
so don't say nothing. That
Took that man, and
I
then
do it too though,
I
cause
told
why
him I was
not?
tired. Yeah. I told him I was tired the first day he asked. I said, I'll take you tomorrow. He came to me, is it tomorrow?
He was
Can you
like,
take me to
wait a
Dairy Queen?
second. He's like, you made a promise. Matt, what you think? You
I mean,
a
hell
hundred
no, I
million.
Oh,
ain't
not this
giving no
over.
$80,000. No, I'm just kidding.
That's oh, I'm about
I'm
to
just
say.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, with the amount of money he has, that is like buying a hoopty, right? He didn't buy her like
Yeah,
a
dropping the
$3
bucket.
million Bugatti.
This is true.
He bought her an $80,000 Mercedes.
Yeah.
I
It's like
guess.
$800 for him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like equivalency.
Mhm.
I don't see nothing wrong with what he did. Is she gonna wreck it because she's 16 and don't know how to fully drive yet? Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
But he got the money to fix it or replace it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely. I think I would. I know I would. If I was 100,
Yeah.
if I was a 20 millionaire, I probably would still get my child a nice car. I don't know if
Hmm.
it would be like a Mercedes, but it would definitely be something that's not
I
no
mean, yeah.
like my first car was a 1999 Nissan Mazda. It was red and it had a short in it, so it beeped like you had to put your seatbelt on. Even if you had to put your seatbelt on, it still beeped the whole ride. And and that got us around. And you got used to the beep. After a while, you didn't even hear it no more. But
What I tell you? I said,
I was so happy. I was so happy for that. So I would definitely upgrade the child and get them something nice because I was happy with my beater. So at the level of what my parents were at, and so I would definitely get my child something accordingly
yeah.
if they deserved it. If they were a good child, and which
Right.
yeah.
That too. Yeah.
So like
It was
tomorrow, if I
breasts.
won the Mega Millions, and I'll be like, okay, you know what, you be good. You be helping out while your dad is gone.
Hmm.
You get that. You go pick your color. What color you want, girl?
Yeah.
I definitely think that. But to your point, Monique, these kids are spoiled. And but you know what?
Hmm.
I'm glad that they are spoiled the way they are, if that makes sense. Like, cause you work
Yeah. I
hard to be
mean,
able to provide different for your kid, right?
and not just that, but not enough of our little minority babies are spoiled neither. A lot of Black, Hispanic children are not living that that way, and so the fact that we have facilitated that for our kids, it's a matter of pride sometimes when you show up, when you done bought that pair of Jordans for your kids. Some people, I'll mess with that. Oh well, this is something that I want to do for my kid right now because it ain't tricking if you got it. It applies to your kids too.
It's true. And but
It
that
applies
come
to
that
your
come with
kids too.
that comes with them, at least with mine, and I'll be 100% honest with them. Sometimes feeling entitled for things.
Mhm.
Oh well, can you
absolutely.
can you take me to the Wawa to get a milkshake? And I'll be like, it's 8:30. But you took me last
Exactly.
time. That's just a small example, but
Yeah, yeah.
they do feel. And I can't think of an example right now off the top of my head, but there's time I'll be like, you really are on one right now. You
Mm-hmm.
chill, but I guess that's where your good parenting comes in, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to rein them in. But I definitely
Yeah.
think it's okay to.
Amen.
Throw a
Amen.
shoe at him?
I was like, what is that? A slipper. I don't know. You think it's okay, Ryan, to spoil your kids?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Like, obviously, you gotta still be within your means to do it. Like, that's within his
Yeah.
means. Him and his ex-wife. That's in their means. Like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the equivalent of like maybe $8,000. Okay, big whoop.
Mm-hmm.
To them. So I think as long as you're within your means, you teach them. Like in his case, I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes to teach her the value of the vehicle and all that stuff. Like for us though, it would be like, all right, these are things you have to do. This is what you have to pay
Yeah.
for in this arrangement or whatever.
Well, she
So
don't have to pay for nothing because her daddy is 100 millionaire.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different levels. Like if you would have
But
asked me two
you
years ago,
wouldn't have
I would
what
I'd,
would you have Ayana pay for? Nothing. She gonna be on your insurance, and you're gonna fill up her tank. Like most likely.
I would. So I saw. I think
No, Matt,
there was a video.
I'm
Like
not
yeah,
feeling
like
you're not
you
filling up
pay
the
for your
tank.
own
yeah.
gas.
Yeah, there's a video I saw where the parent was like recouping some of the money from the kid, not to pay off the note or whatever, because they bought the car out cash, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just to teach them how you have to pay for maintenance, you have to do this, you have to do X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z, and they're still giving the money back through other means. You know what I mean? Like, birthday presents and things like that. But just try and teach you so that way you don't, like in my case, I bought a hoopty. Remember I had the neon? So I bought I think it was 95 neon. I
Remember
bought
that
it.
the white one? Yeah.
No, before then that was a Cavalier, but before that one,
Oh,
I
you
had
had
a
2 hoopies. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I had my entire life until I got the Altima or whatever. But uh, like the gas tank fell out. So like that's how bad it was. Because we use salt on our streets in Buffalo, so it corroded and finally eventually fell out. But I had to pay for that. You know what I mean? Like so, I'd spent all this money on this car, which I bought with my Pell Grant because I didn't need the books. Like so, the hustle was strong. Get the Pell Grant to pay for your books, but I got all my books secondhand from a student who got out before me. So all my books were like fraction of their cost, right? And then I used the money to buy a car because I needed the car because the school I went to was pretty far away. But then the car started falling
Yeah.
apart, and I didn't know about maintenance and all that stuff. So you got to teach your kids stuff.
Yeah, see that.
So
Oil
Definitely.
changes and transmission fluids and yeah.
and I had to pay for my own insurance back in that. It's $350 a month is what I was paying New York car insurance.
See,
Well,
So
I didn't get my first car till I was grown and gone and paying for it myself. So, hey, I wouldn't do that to Micaiah though. She can have one of my cars now, and I'll just get something new.
right, and
see, pass it on.
I'll put them on my insurance instead of having
Oh
to pay
yeah,
out their own pocket
definitely.
because it's such a
Definitely.
reduction in rate and what have you.
Yeah, but it's gonna go up, but that's okay. I kind of feel like that's okay. And I'm not gonna say that. I feel like I would take that responsibility on as a parent.
Yeah,
Right,
If I
as
had,
long
yeah.
as it,
yeah,
yeah,
and they were doing good, even early or throughout college. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, I feel like I would. You can stay on my insurance until you graduate college. Like if as long as you're doing your part,
Absolutely.
I'm going to facilitate you being the best person that you can be.
I definitely do. Yeah, everybody here done seen the result of parents who don't help their kids financially get started and how bad that can go, and parents who do. Even if they don't want to live with you no more, you still should have their back. Don't that's just doing your kids dirty, putting them out there. That's how your kid end up on Skid Row busting it wide
Oh,
open. So
oh,
please
okay.
not Skid Row.
make sure
but,
you help
but
your
Well,
please, like,
kids.
please
Help
don't
your
bust it wide
kids
open.
on
I
Skid
know
Row.
she
Help
went
your
there.
kids.
I
That's
was
that
thinking
song. I'm
sugar
telling you, look.
you know,
But
keep your daughters off the pole.
on the
If
note
they
of
keep them
keeping
off
your
there.
daughters off the pole, we are going to wrap the show for today. If you take nothing
Keep
else
them
from
over there.
this show, please keep your daughter off the pole. Ryan, you
That's
want to
right.
go ahead
Okay.
and hit our
Daddy
socials
daughter
real
date.
quick?
Daddy daughter
Yeah,
date.
Daddy
daddy
daughter
daughter
dates,
date.
yes,
Yeah.
very
No
important.
daddy issues.
Also, keep your sons out the club. How about that? Put that in there too.
Boom.
Right, save them
So
dollars.
yeah.
Look,
So
they wouldn't be in the club if you keep your daughters out. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the show. Remember, you can get this show 7 days early, completely ad free, if you join the Patreon, which is Okay So Boom on Patreon. Thank you to our co-hosts. Uh, if you want to reach us, hit us up at the email okay soboompodcast@gmail, so you can ask your questions and we'll respond to them. You can also hit us up on YouTube, Patreon, and Facebook, all okay so boom. Twitter is at OKAY so boom the number one. Instagram is OKAY_so_boom, and that's it for the socials.
All right, and they can
Yeah.
find that in the descriptions, right, Ryan?
Yes, every single time you either watch one of the videos or you listen to us on your podcast platform of choice. I don't think we're on Apple yet. It takes some weeks to finally pop, but when we do, it'll be like 3 episodes at once. But in those links or on those descriptions, it has all the links.
All
So
right,
like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
that's right. All right, well, we will see you
Yeah.
all next week. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the
That's the
support.
business model, though. I'm sorry, y'all. That Matt, we're gonna discuss that business model. Them dads up in the dad bod strip club. Call me madam. We gonna talk about this.
All right, you can call Monique Madam, and also just make sure you come back next week, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.